movie was different, but I actually really liked it. So the basis of this movie is a guy and his girlfriend hire this guy to do something illegal. It's not exactly, a terrible thing, but it's illegal for a reason. And they decide to go underground and go exploring in places they're not supposed to go. And there's actually a lesbian couple with them that kind of just disappear from the movie and are never spoken of again. They're kind of just like, oh, yep, they're probably dead. Because they bumped into two criminals or whatever with dogs earlier in the movie. They took a picture of them. They got pissed. They deleted the picture. That was that. Didn't really look like they were a problem, but that's kind of what they blame it on. We never see them die. Never hear them die. We only saw the criminals for the one scene, but I guess that's how they're going to write them off. And then we later find out about the lunatic that you see on the cover right there. But we never see them dead there either, if I remember correctly. There was a girl's head in the fridge, but I don't think it was the same girl's. Anyways, they are under the place for like a good 20 minutes. Go exploring, find this Nazi thing, take a few pictures. Then they go across this dangerous thing that they went across to get over there in the first place. It's a little beam with a very high drop if you fall. One of the girls almost falls, and then her girlfriend is like, hey, how many of your clients have you lost doing this? And he's like, well, I've only done this once because you guys wanted to see something special, right? I've never went this way before. And then that's that. Even though the girl, you remember I said how one of the girls almost died? Well, she's the one that tries to take a picture of him after he's done crossing, which I thought was weird. Which, predictably, because it's Flash and he didn't expect to be taken a picture of, falls. They have to go get help. The guy and his girlfriend stay because she's a nurse or whatever is why she stays. They find out his real name isn't Dante, it's Chris. Though they already said they were using fake names. So I don't know why they're too surprised. It doesn't become a huge, argument, but they're surprised, which I thought was weird. Anyway, the creepy guy that you see on the cover ends up showing up, offers them help, puts the guy in a stretcher. He's unconscious because of all the pain he's in from the big fall. And then that's the last we see of him until the movie's almost over. So then the girlfriend and the guy, they eat some soup, talk to the guy for a little bit. She ends up getting on his bad side, because he ends up talking about shooting people in a German voice going rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, which is probably like the only thing I understood. Because unfortunately in this movie they don't use subtitles, English subtitles, for him speaking German. But I guess it makes it more creepy, so I guess it works. She ends up asking him how many people has she shot at the border. And he ends up saying he did kill people. So, doesn't end too well. In the end, he ends up getting attacked. He hears the German guy putting bullets in a gun, so he goes to check to see what he's doing. And then he gets stuck with a needle, and he passes out. Later, he escapes from some very shitty binding stuff. Surprised nobody else has escaped before and just left. Because I'm pretty sure how many people this guy has killed. We don't know. But he's probably killed a lot. I guarantee one time he's at least kidnapped just one person instead of, two people. So they wouldn't have to worry about going to get their friend. They would just leave. Anyway, he starts to set the girl's hair on fire. So the guy was watching and he was powerless to do anything. But once he sees that he's about to hurt her with fire, He pushes something down to get the guy to come out, grabs a fork as a weapon, hides in a room, moves the door so the guy goes in there just a little bit. But the guy doesn't use a flashlight for whatever reason. He throws a coin while he's in there to distract the guy, stabs the guy in the face with the fork. Which is actually pretty smart. And then he locks the guy in there with the fork. It doesn't last too long though. He ends up grabbing a gun and threatening the guy once he sees that he's about to kill the girl. Because I guess the guy knew he was in there. Because I don't know why else he would just start stabbing the girl. He ends up throwing something at him so he doesn't get to shoot him. They fight around for a bit. He shoots him once. And then here comes the weird part. He hits the guy, but they don't show it. We don't hear impact or anything. Because he shot a bunch, he missed. He ends up running out of ammo. Because the last shot he takes, he actually hits him with. But his girlfriend screams, "Kill him, kill him, kill him." But when he tries to kill him, he's out of bullets. So he starts using something to hit him in the head with. He doesn't have any bruise marks or anything, and we don't hear any impact. We don't even see him hit him. We just see him hitting something. So I guess he was just hitting the floor. Because he still has the mark from the fork. For a little bit. Because on the cover, for some reason, he doesn't have it. Anyway, he ends up getting killed after telling his girlfriend he has to get ropes and a phone. There's also a scene for some reason, though. He gets a German lady on the phone and he doesn't talk to her, even though the boyfriend actually does know some German because he was talking to the guy. I guess there's just bad signal, but they don't really show it very well. Because in most movies, they'll go like, "Hello? Hello?" But she starts talking and then he just walks out of the room with the phone. So he ends up taking the phone from him and speaking German, which, obviously would get him off his back. Because they didn't really think an English speaker would answer the phone. He never even talked once for some reason. Then he hangs up the phone, smashes it for whatever reason. And then he kills the guy in a very brutal way. So, if you like horror movies but you're not into too brutal, don't watch this scene or this movie. If you don't want to have to skip the scene of the main character dying. But it's very brutal. Rips off his skin very slowly. Then he pours salt on him. It's brutal. Anyway, the girl finds out that she can't escape. Because she got, I forgot to mention, she was walking and then something caved in, and that's why I had to go get ropes and a phone in the first place. So, she goes through the hole, starts digging, and she gets out. Gets all the way to a subway, and I guess she just passes out from being tired. She didn't go too far. Because the subway was close. They even say that. So I don't really get why she fell asleep. But she falls asleep. Some guy, they don't show him at first, comes and helps her. So I thought it was going to be the bad guy, but it wasn't. It was some other German guy. And he ends up going to go get a phone and call the police for her. And he gets killed. Without hesitation, the guy just slits his throat and takes his jacket. Then he gets on the bus. He has an ID or something. Because then he's like, "Hey, this girl doesn't have a ticket. I'm going to have to take her with me." So this guy tells her, "Hey, you're going to have to get off the bus." And he won't take her side, even though she keeps telling him, "Hey, this guy's crazy. He's trying to kill me." She even tries to hit like the emergency thing on the train, but the guy stops her. And he doesn't really do anything. He ends up realizing, oh, hey, this might not actually be what I think it is. After, she's already off the train. He tries to get off the train while it's moving. Like, it's a bit too late now, buddy. But she actually says something tiny bit racist, where it's not, huge racism, but I don't know, it definitely made me uncomfortable. Like, why would you say that? He doesn't really know what's going on, but she calls him a stupid German fuck, even though he's speaking English too. But whatever. Anyway, she ends up not being able to get away, gets too tired, sits on another railroad track, and he stands behind her and is about to shoot her. The gun doesn't work. She starts praying in Spanish. That's what the subtitles say anyway. She keeps praying after he tries to shoot her again, and it doesn't work. She doesn't try to run away or anything. I think you would get some adrenaline when someone's standing behind you with a gun. But nope, he just can't get the gun to work, so he snaps her neck, and that's the end of her. I thought she was going to be the final girl, but apparently not. They end up finally going back to the guide, who I almost forgot existed until 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh wait, we haven't seen the guide in a while. And then 10 minutes later, after the girl dies, here he is. He starts crawling. He's looking for help. And he can't find any help because everybody's dead and the guy's not even there. He's trying to get rid of the girl's body and the German guy that was going to help her's body. He ends up getting the thing off with some glass. And he ends up taking a vent off, going in the sewer, and going in the water. And you think he drowns, because his legs are broken. So you would think he drowns. The captions even say silence. But a minute later, we see some kids singing in German and playing. And then they stop at the end of the hill, and we see a guy sitting in the water, laying down in the water, passed out but breathing. So I guess he's still alive, even though he definitely should have drowned. Then the movie ends, no joke, with the German guy brushing his teeth. Very weird ending. And a side note, the soup they were eating turns out to be human parts from the guy. The boyfriend even throws up once he realizes that. It was a very different movie. The characters were definitely smarter than usual, but they still made dumb decisions because it's a horror movie. There's plenty of weapons. They could have grabbed some and defended themselves. But the closest they get is when the boyfriend stumbles into the bad German guy again. I'm only calling him that because we never get his name in the movie. The boyfriend, Dennis, runs into him again and he finds a knife. But the guy's got a gun and he tells him, don't you do it. And he's still just pointing the knife at him like he's gonna be able to shoot him with the knife. And he shoots him in the foot. And then that's that. He kills him after that. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Definitely weird though.